A common complaint among the lobotomized portion of the older generation is that nobody wants to work anymore. And this is one of those points that is all emotion and no logic, i.e., they make the claim out of emotion, and in their head they've already logicked it out, but they haven't even tried. But their maxim is that work is a virtue, and they assume everyone else thinks that way. Now, it would make sense if work was a virtue in the secular world, but it simply is not. In America, work is based on incentives. That's just how it is. People work because there's some benefit at the end of it. If there's no perceived benefit, then it's hard to justify that sacrifice. And simply put, a man will work a grueling job to support his family, but many today don't even believe they'll even have a family, or even afford a family once they get it. So, what's the point? Not to mention, even the shitty jobs are difficult to get. I don't know how many places I've applied for, but the only jobs that are guaranteed to hire me would be a factory or some kind of backbreaking labor. And not just that, men need progression and some grand goal to work toward. Most people don't even believe their job has an impact on society and simply work because they have bills to pay. Clock in and out, in and out, in and out until they die. So no wonder many men don't want to work. It's not necessarily out of laziness. Matter of fact, men have an innate need to work towards something. We have a desire to build. We have a desire to improve, conquer, and constantly evolve. It's a never-ending chase, and we thrive in that. I saw this study on TikTok addiction, and though 80% of women were addicted to TikTok, and only 18% of men, this was based on the population of the study, but only 18% of men had stronger symptoms of the depression and anxiety that's caused from that. It's because we men, we don't want to be stagnant. What's the old saying? Idle hands are a devil's plaything. Where there is no work for a man, there is no joy. But when advancement feels impossible, the rewards feel smaller every year, and the future you're working towards seems increasingly out of reach. Motivation naturally disappears. Now, for quiet quitting, frankly, capitalism is where quiet quitting thrives. Let me explain. Quiet quitting is where you work your job but put in only the effort required to meet your obligations. It's also called acting your wage. In capitalism, since it's built around incentives, you don't work because work itself is the reward. You work because you receive compensation. So if a worker believes extra effort will not result in extra pay, extra opportunity, or extra benefit, then from a purely logical standpoint, many people will reduce their effort accordingly. They will do exactly what they are paid to do and nothing more, as should be expected in a capitalist society. Try not to use words like that because it makes me sound like a socialist douche. Now, whether that's morally right or morally wrong is a separate discussion. My point is simply that if you create a system that teaches people to think in terms of incentives and rewards, you shouldn't be surprised when they start acting according to those incentives and rewards. So when people say nobody wants to work anymore, I think the better question is, what exactly are people working towards? Because people will endure suffering, stress, exhaustion, and sacrifice when they believe there's something meaningful on the other side of it. But when they stop believing that, motivation doesn't disappear because they're lazy. It disappears because they no longer see a reason to make the sacrifice. And finally, you may ask, Matt, aren't you Christian? Didn't God make you to work? Yes, but God made me to work towards something meaningful, to build, provide, create, and help others, not to spend my entire life making some billionaire slightly richer while my own future gets further out of reach. Jesus told us, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to make it to heaven. Now, yes, that is also saying rely on Jesus to get to heaven because nothing you do will be good enough, and wealth creates the biggest illusion of self-sufficiency. But it also means, these CEOs, they're going to have a hard time. But Jesus also told us to help the poor and do all these things. So these CEOs who just hoard their wealth, that's frowned upon by Jesus. So, in conclusion, quiet quitting is simply being an average worker in the Western world. It's not some special thing that differentiates you, nor is it laziness. It's simply being an American. God bless you all, and I love you. Have a good day. Patreon. We got Alexander, my best supporter, my greatest supporter. If you'd like to see your name at the end of the video, go subscribe to my Patreon. Link in the description.